seeing what rates have done the last couple of weeks? We're just talking about it with Matt. Kind of up and down, but they have gone up. We're seeing closer to the higher sixes right now for most rates. The one thing I want everybody to remember is the 2-1 buy down. I've been doing a lot of those 2-1 buy downs. Have you guys done any of those in here? 2-1 buy downs at all, where the seller contributes to temporarily buy down the rate for the buyers so that they're not freaked out on their payment. Now it is something that, remember, we have to ask the sellers to pay for on a 2-1 buy down. And I did a comparison on a 2-1 buy down and a 1-0 buy down before I came in here. So a 2-1 buy down, you buy the rate down temporarily for the first 2 years. Okay, it's 2% the first year, 1% the second year, and then it's at a normal rate the third year. The thinking is, let's get some people in the house, get them a lower interest rate, and refinance them in the next couple of years when rates go down. On the example I ran at $550,000, the 2-1 buy down with someone putting 5% down was about $12,000. Okay, that's kind of high, right? It's kind of high to ask the seller to pay an additional $12,000, but you see it a lot in new builds, right? The incentives for a lot of new builders are they're offering 3% or $15,000, and they're trying to help people with that 2-1 buy down. The 1-0 buy down is just a buy down for the first year. The cost on that was $4,500. Okay, so maybe a 2-1 buy down doesn't work for everybody and everybody's sellers, but the 1-0 buy down is something that the lender and the sellers can contribute to. So as a lender, I can help out on a 1-0 buy down, either build it into the rate or give a lender credit. Yeah, your rate might be a little higher, but you're 1% lower that first year. So if you ever need us to run some scenarios on temporary buy downs and what they cost before you make an offer, just give us a quick call and we can run those scenarios. They are a hot thing. They do help a lot of people. Correct. So they still qualify. All they see on most of their documents, Peter, is going to be the note rate that is on year 3, but you are going to get a discount of 2% or 1% depending on how long of a buy down you do. So I did one last night. I ran the scenario numbers for a couple, buying a house around 570, putting 5% down. The 2-1 buy down saved them $603 the first year and $306 the second year per month on their payment. So $600 a month, that's a lot. Okay, people can actually, oh, okay, I can make that payment work if it's $600 cheaper. That's 2% lower on the interest rate. Seller, agent, or lender. It's got to be an outside source. It cannot be the buyers. Same thing. But for me to build in $12,000 into the rate to give a credit, that's not going to work. But as a lender, I can help build in for a 1-0 buy down. I can help build in the rate $4,500. That's a lot easier to obtain. Good questions. If you have anything else, let us know, please. Thank you.
All right, we have a special lunch sponsor today. We've got Mike with Mill Creek Commercial. How many of you have done is my mic on? Can you guys hear me back there? Okay. How many of you have done a 1031 exchange in the past? Okay. So pretty good crowd, right? So this is a great resource to have as an option, and this can make you more dangerous in your real estate business. So we're excited to have Mike here. He's going to talk a little bit in depth on how they can be supportive in your business. So Mike, give him a hand.
Thank you. I'm Mike Bursey with Mill Creek Commercial. I've been doing real estate in some form or another and for, I don't know, as long as Dean has, I think. 23. Anyways, I'm from Mill Creek Commercial. Again, who's had the 1031 training, snooze fest, CE training? All right. Yeah. Okay. So let me tell you a little story first. You can go to the first slide as I tell this story. And then I want you to think about what 70 trillion is, if you can think of what that is. I got a call from a client a couple of months ago. I said, Mike, this is Mike. And Mike, I'm like, well, that's a cool name. Thank you. Lives in Wisconsin. He's been a real estate agent for 45 years. He said, Mike, I have been through I've lost my money 3 times in real estate. He owns a brokerage. He says, I've got $1 million in rentals. And he said, and this is in Wisconsin or Minnesota, I can't remember. Well, so he's got some property. It's a little cheaper there. He said, my friends invited me over. My best friend invited me over for dinner. Yeah, Mike's 73 years old. And he said, my friend's 78 years old. So we go over to dinner Sunday, and my friend reaches over and says, Mike, my wife just got diagnosed with cancer, and my health is failing. And he reached over and grabbed my arm and said, Mike, it's time to start living. So he said, I need to do something. I'm sick and tired of being a landlord. I need to get rid of these. How can you help me? Now, that being said, we're going to hold that story for a second. I'll tell you what we do at Mill Creek. $70 trillion. Anybody know what $70 trillion means? $70 trillion is the amount of assets that are being transferred with the baby boomers in the next 20 years. And go to the next slide. 70% of that is in real estate. Okay. So just so you know, so the baby boomers have $70 trillion that's going to change hands. 30 trillion of it will transfer by the end of 2030. So there's a lot of money switching hands in the next couple of years. Go back to the other one. 81% of baby boomers want to pass along their inheritance. And as the kids grow older, that gets smaller because they're sick and tired of them. They fight. Anybody have the kids fight over their parents' inheritance? Every time. I don't understand. So, like I said, 70% of 70 trillion is in real estate. 10,000 baby boomers retire every day. 5,000 of them pass away. And this is the number I want you to look at right here. The 50% of baby boomers that own a home. How many have bought or sold a baby boomer's home? All right. 50% of them own an investment property as well. So your sphere of influence, the clients you're working for, I want you to kind of be aware of, not only do they have a home for sale or they're buying a home, but 50% of them probably have a duplex, a fourplex, or maybe they had a small commercial building when they ran a business, things like that. Okay. So as these assets in the next 20 years transfer hands, just remember that your clients out there, there's a lot of money that's going to be changing hands. Next one. Nobody wants to be a landlord. Who wants to be a landlord forever? Anybody? Nobody wants tenants and toilets and trash, correct? So like I was telling you about Mike, Mike's sick and tired. He's 72. He's tired of being a landlord. He wants to do something with his $1 million. But what gets in the way of selling an investment property? Taxes. What kind of taxes? Capital gains. What else? Inheritance. What else? Depreciation, recapture. Everything gets in the way. So when somebody sells an investment property, whether that's land, it can be an acre or more, and doesn't even have to be making money. It's considered, the IRS considers it, if it's not your second home and it's not your personal home, it's an investment property. That's how the IRS looks at it. So in some states, not so bad here in Utah, but in some states, Utah's about 25%. So if you got $1 million property, you actually free and clear, you're selling $1 million and you don't do anything with it, 1031 exchange into another property, you're going to give the government $250,000 at the minimum. Some states like California, you're talking 35, almost 40%. Kind of a tough, baby boomers have that for so long. And then you tell them, oh, the CPA goes, well, if you sell this, you don't transfer that money. Oh, you're cashing out. That's great. Now write the check for $350,000. And baby boomers, I'm almost a baby boomer. I got fit in there somewhere between this Gen X. I don't even know what we are. I don't even know what I am. But you know, the baby boomers, whoever's read The Millionaire Next Door, has anybody read that book? That's your client in the baby boomers. You never know that they're worth $1 million, $2 million, $3 million. They just have these assets they've been sitting on for 20, 30, 40 years. And now they need to get rid of them or they want to do something. I promise you that you have clients you didn't know that the baby boomers are like, I'm done, but I don't know what to do with my fourplex or my duplex. And most of you are residential agents, and that's fine. You can sell a fourplex, a duplex, or a single family. You don't need to be a commercial agent to do that, okay? If you need help, there's a commercial agent in your office, I'm sure, but you don't need to be a commercial agent. There's money to be made helping your clients sell their investment properties. And to do that, the best way, well, one of the ways is to use the 1031 exchange. Avoids the capital gains, the depreciation recapture. A lot of people don't even know about depreciation recapture. That's a big surprise for them. Like, what, that depreciation stuff, I have to pay that back in a certain percentage? Yes, you do. If you sell it and then cash out. So let's go to the next slide. Like I said, 30%. Who wants to give the government 30% of what they've earned over the past 30 years? Anybody? No? Oh, that's good. Okay, so let's go over just quick rules of 1031, and then we're going to tell you what we do. To 1031, the property needs to be what you're going into. Okay, let's ask this question. You've heard like to like, right? Anybody heard like to like? Anybody know what that means? Really? What does like to like mean?
Real estate to real estate.
Anything that's involved in real estate, that's an investment property. And in the state of Utah, it can be water rights, it can be mineral rights. All right. That usually doesn't happen, but mineral rights count as 1031. And people have mineral rights and transfer into actual investment real estate. So it has to be equal or greater. Now, the biggest thing I want you to remember is a QI. Anybody know what a QI is? Qualified intermediary. They are the godsend, like your title company people are, okay? And a lot of them have to be title people as well. But you need to have your client talk to a qualified intermediary, and preferably somebody that you don't have to have a license to be a qualified intermediary in most states. I think there's only 2 or 3 that actually require it now. So anybody off the street can be a qualified intermediary. We always advise you to find a qualified intermediary that's like a CPA, has something to lose besides just the title of QI. Like they may lose their license as a CPA, or they may lose their attorney or something like that. Something that there's some risk that they don't screw it up. So, because the QI is the most important thing in a 1031 exchange. All right. So you got to find a good QI. The other 2 quick things are you have 45 days to identify a replacement property, up to 3 after the moment that your relinquished property of your clients is sold, 45 days. And we really advise you to find one before you sell the property. Because so many people get to day 43, 44 and go, oh my gosh, I haven't identified anything. And then, so you have to have 45 days to identify to the QI, has to fill out the right tax stuff to make it official. Start to finish is 180 days total. You have 180 days to close on the new property. That's from the start of the relinquished sale. It's not 180 days on top of 45. It's 180 days. Holidays count, Saturdays count, Sundays count. It doesn't matter. It's 180 days. All right. Let's go to the next one. So, like I said before, so many baby boomers are going to be right now, especially as they get older in the late 70s, 80s, and land. Don't forget land. So many land people right now are like, what do I do with my land? I need to sell it. I need some money, but I don't know what to do with it. All right. That is, so many people, I don't know where to go with my 1031 exchange. They've heard of 1031. Some haven't even heard of that. What do I do? So let me, the reason I'm here is to tell you that you have so many clients that will be selling and want to sell their land and their fourplexes and duplexes right now, but they don't have the answer to the question. The question is, what do I do? Where do I go? I don't know what to do. All right. So now here's the funny thing about when I learned 1031, it just kind of went over my head. This was 20 years ago from a title company. I'm like, I don't know what the 1031. I don't know what to do with this. All right. This kind of goes over my head. What am I supposed to do? 1031. So the funny thing is you're like, okay, you have a 1031, you have a fourplex, they're sick and tired of being a landlord. And you're like, well, great. Let's say it's worth $1 million. They want to get out of it. But it doesn't make any sense to go into another fourplex, does it? If they're sick and tired of being a landlord, it doesn't make any sense for most people to go, well, I need to sell my land, but I don't really know what to do with the land unless it's worth $3 or $4 million. It's a little easier to place. So that's the funny question that we have all the time. Well, I got $350,000. I got $100,000. I got $2 million. What do I do with this? So at Mill Creek, let's go to the next one. So at Mill Creek, we're just here in Pleasant Grove, but we develop our own properties across the country. Okay. Our niche is to go, look, you have a client that's selling a fourplex. Let's say they have $1 million. Let's say they go, I desperately need $100,000 cash and I need to do something with a $900,000. Can you help me? And we're like, we're here to help you guys because we develop things like dollar stores, surgical centers in Texas. We are developing Seven Brothers. You ever heard of Seven Brothers Burgers? Okay, we're doing 2 of those this year for them. Let's see what else. Quench It. We've done a couple of Quench Its. So what we do is we develop and we build the pizza. All right. We build the building for Seven Brothers. They lease it from us, and then we sell it in tenant in common. Anybody know what tenant in common is? All right. So that's our niche as Mill Creek Commercial. We go, hey, you've got somebody with $750,474.33. What are you going to do with that? You can't go buy a Walmart with that or some gigantic hospital or anything like that. So you can put it into one of our, hey, we have anybody seen Neurogenics in Lehigh down here? I don't know if anybody's seen that. It's a pain management company. We built that for them. So we go, look, you bring your money we've developed this property. We bring your client's money into the property and say, okay, they brought $1 million into a $10 million building. They now own 10% of the building. They get a deed, a real deed. They own the 10% of the property. It's like owning a condo, except they actually own the building, not the air. And now they get 10% of the rent roll every month that comes in. It's already managed. So we have a Neurogenics that pays 6.5% triple net. Anybody know what triple net is? Triple net, yeah. So the renter pays for everything: repairs, taxes, insurance, and pays the lease. So your client comes in and goes, hey, I'm getting a triple net property. I don't have to do squat. I can just sit back and get my rent pay check every month at 6.5%. It's already third-party managed for an independent company. We don't do it. Somebody else does it for us. Mary Street. You heard of Mary Street? Yeah, she's one of our third-party management companies here and also throughout the United States. So we offer your clients an ability to buy. They would love to buy the whole pizza, but they can only buy 2 slices. Great. 2 slices gets them 6% a year. Now they 1031 that into one of our properties, and they can have something better and high grade commercial, still make money, and then have the ability to pass that along to their children after they pass away. Because the only way to get out of capital gains is to pass away. That's the only way to do it. So that's what we do at Mill Creek Commercial. Now here's the best part of that. All right. We pay you 3%. Okay. As a referral fee or commission. If you get a 3%, you bring somebody with $1 million to one of our, and they go into one of our dollar stores or one of our Neurogenics or one of our surgical centers in Texas. You know, a lot of people like to stay close to their property. We call it the hug and love. They want to be able to drive by it once in a while, go, that's mine. I want a part of that. But that's why we do triple net as well. Like, look, it doesn't matter where the property is. It can be in Texas. You don't have to worry about it. But some people like to stay close, and that's okay. But that's what we offer to your clients. The biggest question is, you know, go find those people. Like I said, 50% of the baby boomers that own a home have investment properties. It's an untouched gold mine right now. And Dean wants us to come over and say, hey, this is a huge opportunity for you guys to go in. Another part of it, we can co-brand with you if you want. We'll give you marketing tools. We'll give you, teach you kind of how to approach your clients. And honest to goodness, it's a 1-sentence thing. You ask your client, do you have any investment properties you own? Great. What are your 1031 plans? Don't ask them if they're going to sell it. Just ask them what their 1031 plans are. And from there, you can go in and do it. And that's pretty much our spiel real fast. I didn't want to take too much time. Questions? Mm-hmm. No. Well, yeah. So we will take care of everything if you want. I mean, you need to sell the property. So you're going to get the commission selling the property, and then you'll get the commission saying, hey, go here and we can deal with that. But we're here to hold your hand, hold their hands. You're just part of the integral part of the team. We can take care of as much of it or little as you want of it. And the other part is if you bring a client and they come back and 2 years later and go, hey, I sold something else, and they never tell you, and they come to us, we still pay you 3%. So the debt part is a fun thing. So say you have $100 million and they still owe $100,000 on it. They have to either place that debt somewhere, get a new loan on a new piece of property. Now, our properties, we don't allow debt. Usually, we actually have a dollar store in Alabama that will do up to $1 million in debt. But if they can't find a piece of property, they just take the hit on the 100,000. That's really the easiest way to do it. 5.5 to 6.5 right now. Things are moving up. Our neurogenics are 6.5 triple net. Those are our hot items. It's a regional growing national tenant. They don't pay like the $5.5 stores. Our dollar stores are about as secure. I mean, are the dollar stores going anywhere? No. You know. So that's there's risk, you know, the higher the cap rate, the little more risk, quote unquote, in the market. But that's where 5.5 to 6.5%. So questions more? Yes. Exit strategy. So we have clients, like we have a client that brought $9 million to us, and he's got 3 kids and a trophy wife. Anyways, long story. And he's like, look, she's 25 years old, younger than him. He's got some kids. He said, look, I know I can get a better deal. I can get a 1% better cap rate out there from a 6 to a 7. He's got $9 million. When you got $5-6 million, you can go where you want to go. You can find something that's a little bit better cap rate. I mean, that's just the truth. But when you're in a bind and you got $500,000, you can't find something that's better. That's why we sell it by the slice in a tenant in common. So we can go, and we do it all the time, where we have, look, you can bring the money, whatever money it is, we'll slice it up into however many kids you have in 3 or 4 separate deeds. When you pass away or whatever, then those kids know what they're getting. They don't have to fight over it. The kids can leave it in the investment property, or they can sell it on the open market. Go back there. Yeah, they get the percentage every month right into their banking account. So no, because mom and dad passed away. Once they pass away, capital gains go away. So we can always do, and we're not the other ones that do tenant in common. There's some other people out there, just so you know. But timing is crucial when it comes to getting our stuff under contract per se. We don't want to tie it up for 6 months. But if you have a client say, look, it's closing in 30 days, great, we'll put them under contract for us. You close it, bring the funds over in 2 days later, you know, we can do almost tabletop, it's done. But the thing about the 45 days is you have to, you know, once it's funded, 45 days start, and you have to identify something. Now you have to identify something, and then you have the other 160, whatever it is, 45, whatever it is, days to close. But you're committed on those 3 properties, 99% of the time committed to getting that close. So you really, it's better to line things up and have it go, okay, you know. But we do get them like at day 44. You know, we had one last week called day 44. I had day 45. I got $200,000. Great. Go into Quinchette, close us out of South Jordan. Great. So that happens. Go ahead.
Regulations, refinance, cash outs. Is there a certain time period that before you?
Let me rephrase the question.
So I guess, like, is there any regulation? Say I want to do 31 exchange, if I want to refinance, or cash out first before I do that.
So if you do cash out first, then you got a loan on it, then you got to replace the debt, which makes it very, very hard to do. So that's the problem with, you know, and we don't allow debt on our property. So it's kind of a clean thing. So you can place people with high value into DSTs, Delaware Statutory Trusts. Debt, large amounts of debt can go in there pretty easily, but you also don't get 3% commission. So, but sometimes the DSTs are better options than just another commercial property. So flexibility. You can take one of our deeds and split it up into 4 and go, hey, I got $1 million into one of our properties. I need 150,000 out. Great. We'll take the 150,000 off, redo the deed. You sell that, we'll sell it to somebody else. And most of the time when it gets sold, it's somebody else in the complex or somebody else in the building. We have a 15-day right of refusal for everybody that owns something in a surgical center in Texas. 99% of the time, the people that are already owning in there, I'll pick that up. So it's the easiest way to do it. But yeah, flexibility. DST, you're locked into up to 7 years and you have no control whatever. When you still have a deed, you can do what you want with it. It's a regular piece of property. It's just treated like any real estate because it is. Yes, you can 1031 out and go into something else. Absolutely.
Residential property, we only have like $500,000. So they've owned the thing for 10 years and now they may have, worth $1.5 million or something like that. And they've got quite a bit of capital gains they're gonna have to be on top of that. If they're downsizing, is there any way you can't really change that?
You can't exchange on a personal property, but we can take the 500,000 and make money off of it, make it money, and we give you a commission. So don't limit yourself to 1031. We'll take investors' cash too. Green is green. We'll take that. So,
Hey, Michael,
the commission. So, that's kind of our quick spiel. Go ahead.
That's the property.
Yeah.
So instead of trying to do a delayed exchange, which I would never do, by the way, with my clients, because there's too much of a risk, I think it's losing the money, and you're gonna get blamed as the agent, for not finding something.
And most 1031s are end up delayed anyways because it takes a couple of days to close. I mean, they're really delayed anyways. But yeah, we do reverses is kind of you bring money to the table, you buy a property, you have equity in the other person. The reverse counts toward that. It gets complicated, and the QA has to pull that one off. That's a whole different lesson in an hour's worth of. So go to the next slide, Hunter. Just 2 things I want to give you. One is, this is something you can give to your clients. It's our little ebook on 1031. It's kind of a little more detailed on what I explained because I don't want to take up too much time, and it's a snooze fest. When you're sitting on the toilet somewhere, read that. And then tomorrow, we have Bill Exter. I can't remember his name. Bill Exter. He's like the biggest QI on the West Coast. He's doing a webinar with us tomorrow at 11. I didn't bring the scan code for that one. Sorry. If you go to millcreekcommercial.com, there's can you pull up millcreekcommercial.com? I don't know if you can do that or not real fast. We have tons and tons and tons of information on our website, educational material. It shows our current properties. Our Google reviews are great, 5.0 for 33. Anyways, go to properties right there real fast, just available. That's some of the stuff we have right now. We have stuff from Alabama, Illinois, Texas. We're building 2 new Neurogenics right now. This just starting. Those are those 6.5 cap rates. If you got somebody that's 300,000 or more and needs, that is a great place to put at 6.5%. And 2 other things, in case you have really big clients, we have a triple net assisted living in Idaho that we own that pays 6%. It's 21 million, but it has $11 million in a HUD loan debt on it at 3.4%. And the other owner will carry that for life. So you only have to bring 10.5 million to get a $20 million property at 3.4%. That's a good deal. And then we're doing a hotel conversion in Greenville, South Carolina. It's a cool little place. It's like Orem was 35 years ago before all the orchards disappeared. That's a 6 cap. It's a hotel conversion, 117 doors, 21 million. That's done at the end of summer. So those are none of these properties are on the market. And the 2 I just told you are really not on the market. Okay. Question. So they're getting, commercials value is in the strength of the lease, but you do get appreciation as well. So it depends on when you sell it. Yes. Like how do you account for, is there appreciation? Is that what you're saying? There is appreciation. You sell it what the market will dictate. Now, here's the trick to like Neurogenics. It goes up 2% every year. It's a 15-year lease. So the value is like, look, this thing is going to be at 8% in 6 years. What are you going to give it for me? There's your appreciation. Does that make sense? So it can be, hey, I bought it for 50,000 or 100,000. It's worth this. You're going to pay me 120,000 for it because it's going to make 8% in 4 years. Great. We don't sell the building. I mean, so what happens when it's sold out? We're out of it. We're just the owners till it's gone. Once the new owners pick up, there could be 7 owners, there could be 33 max. They have complete control. They can kick out the market. They can kick out the management companies there. They can keep them there. They control what happens in that building. They can't kick out the person leasing it because there's a lease there. But in 10 years, they can go, hey, look, we have 2 5-year renewals. Do we want them there or not? So once we sell out the percentage of the building, we're out of it. Now we're never really out of it because we want to make sure that if something goes south, and it does happen, we're there to help the owners. You know, we never really leave our owners behind. We're just there to make sure things go well. But legally, when we're out of a building we sold 10 million out of 10 million, we're out of it. And you know, the fund flips to something else, but we're always there. Does that answer your questions? Yeah. So we try to make it as a landlord that, hey, look, it's already third party managed and it's a commercial property and you've got somebody in there instead of releasing it every year. It's there for 15 years and you know that they're not going away. Capital gains depends on your tax and the building and how much you sold. So it depends on the state and your individual situation. Some capital gains are up to 35, 40%. Depends on the state. No, you don't have to. That's deferred as well. So that's the power of 1031. It goes away when they die. That's the only benefit. So anyways, and like I said, there's so many people out there. There's, you know, it is, you have baby boomers, you have clients, don't limit to baby boomers, by the way, that have investment properties. Ask them, hey, you got investment property. What's your 1031 plans? See where they're at. They could sell it tomorrow. They could sell it in 2 years, but there's going to be more sales in it for you guys. And, you know, and Dean needs some more money too. So, right? No. Oh, Dean needs to go to Hawaii. You taking me with you? No. Dang it. All right. Any other questions? I think I took a little too much time, but thank you for having me. We have, I think, most of your emails, but you can call me or email me. Unfortunately, my email is mike.bursey@millcreekcommercial.com. It's not the shortest thing in the world, but probably somewhere. We've harassed you many times, but we have a great marketing girl that sends out lots of emails. So like I said, call me. Let's talk. You've got stuff. We set them up and go from there. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Mike. We always want to put new tools and resources in your hands. Being able to bring many different options to your clients is such a vital tool. We do apologize. There was a miscommunication on lunch today, so we won't have lunch this week, but we will next week. Please, for Tuesday, we do have an awesome training scheduled for your goals for Q3, Q4. So please be here and have a wonderful rest of the week. Thank you all. Appreciate you.